Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. And here we are. We're live. I know it's Friday night. We didn't get to do our Thursday night regular Halloween show, but we hope that you guys had a great Halloween. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Had a big thing drop this morning, a little Skeleton Crew trailer. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been reacting to it, and now we do. Now we're going to talk about it and react to it, and Nick will be here momentarily. We got Rissman here with us, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in Moff Rissman. We'll be joined by Nick momentarily. What's going on, brother?
Yes, Darth Scipio, I'm here. What's up, Coach? How's it go?
Will
How's it
Darth
going, brother?
Simpus make an appearance?
Wouldn't miss it.
Well,
Wouldn't miss it.
I'm
There
going to tell
has.
you, I think we have a pretty good balance between me, you, and Nick.
You mean you and me might balance Nick out, or what? What do you mean by that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
It might be you're on one end, Nick's on the other end, and
you're in the
or
middle.
maybe. I don't know. We're gonna get into it and talk about it. We're gonna go through the trailer, and first of all, let's just do this. Your guys' thoughts on the trailer before we even get started. Let's go right out of the gate.
They've been firing it into the chat already. It's
Fire away right now. I'm looking. I want to see what you got.
Should we put up a poll of some kind? Should we let him poll? Can we do it?
We'll make Nick do that.
Okay.
He likes polls.
He does like polls. I just thought we could get it ready. Get it ready.
Terrible. He likes polls. All right.
I didn't say you like to dance on them. I said he
man. Haven't seen it. Don't really have any interest in it. Love watching fellow Star Wars fans vent about the horrors done to us. There's a lot of truth in that. Yup. Lot of truth in that, brother. Thank you very much. X-Wing with a member chat. What's up, buddy? Legends. One more month, my membership will be older than how many times I've given up on Star Wars. Oh, that's definitely a topic of conversation tonight. Yeah, I can't wait to get there. Look, we got some people here that are liking what they saw. Cinetic, it's Goonies and Star Wars. I hate Disney. So, we're seeing a lot of that, and it's understandable for sure. We're going to get into that too. John Graber, he's excited about the show, and John did not even watch The Acolyte, not a single episode.
It's interesting to me, the Goonies comment. There's been a lot of Goonies comments, and they're owning up to all of it. Not only that, I read an article earlier that said they spoke to Richard Donner about how to cast the kids. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, John Watts had a conversation with Richard Donner in 2021, just months before his death, about casting for this show.
Yeah,
about how to cast the children, and he kept the advice in his mind throughout the entire process.
Yeah,
that I like it. It's an interesting thing, I guess. I think I might have an issue at this point when we're in the whole hype stage leading up to a show. And the conversation always turns to, well, we took, we got ideas, or we were influenced by watching whatever. Flash Gordon. 1920s and 30s serials.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching the same things that inspired George Lucas to make this. And I just kind of get tired of that director speak. Like,
I'm totally with you, right?
The same article you just mentioned said they also were influenced by Predator.
Yeah, I mean, these are our age folks, right? For the most part, right? A lot of these are of our generation, and they clearly made a series here that's an homage to things they loved growing up, and apparently they really like pirates. So I'm very torn on this, right? I'm totally with you. If it's well written and they did a good job representing their vision, it should resonate. If it just comes across as they copied Goonies the whole time, then I don't know that that's very exciting, right? We've already had Goonies I wanted to watch Goonies, I would just go watch Goonies.
I don't think we're in danger of that. Everybody, most of the Goonies talk are us.
Mm-hmm.
People reacting to the trailer, and it's been called Goonies in space from the get-go, like right out of the gate. That's what it's been called when we realized this. I want to watch the trailer. We're obviously waiting on Nick to get here.
But by the way, Coach, I have a shocking Goonies thing to tell you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
John Graber never seen Goonies. Never seen it. Shocking.
I mean, you know how I am with Goonies.
I know. And for me, I liked it fine, but I don't obsess about it. Right? It's not a movie.
So I think
revisit.
that's where I'm at with it. It's not that I dislike it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, for me, it's just okay. But there's so many people that are like, oh, Goonies is the gold standard. It's like Hall of Fame, legendary. And so many people are that way. And I think that's why I don't like the Shawshank Redemption. It just gets overhyped so much. And I'm like, it ain't that good.
I've seen
It's
Shawshank.
all right.
I've seen Shawshank many more times than I've seen Goonies. I'm here to tell you. And again, it's not. I think you know what I mean. Goonies for its time was great.
Yeah.
I think Shawshank also was fine. But to me, these are not. They're just not legendary properties in my mind. For me.
Yeah. Yep. No.
The Goonies guy.
Rogue Sarge with a huge $20 super chat. My brother, thank you so much, Bobby. Hello, everyone at EBN. And Bobby is not feeling the excitement.
He's not feeling the show, and I get
the
it.
trailer.
I get it.
The thing is, we're going to go back and we're going to watch the trailer in a second, but I want to love, like, enjoy everything Star Wars. And I feel like I'm so damaged because I've been unhappy with the last, ever since Book of Boba Fett, I've been unhappy, I think.
Oh, Ted.
I was really no. So I don't know if I agree with that. See, I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think this show's going to be bad. I love you, Ted. And I know a lot of people's default is to hate on it immediately. And I get it. I'm not blaming you. If that's how you feel, I respect it. But this looks like it could be just a fun show. It's bringing the fun back. It appears. And there was something I thought was interesting, Matt. This whole Goonies speak and everything. The article on StarWars.com today said that Jude Law is the lead.
Mm-hmm. He is.
I think that gets swept under the rug by a lot of people. A lot of people are just like, "Oh, it's about these kids. It's a show about these kids." Not if he's the lead. You know what I mean? If he's the lead, they're supporting.
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you. I've seen a lot of Goonies talk. The music we'll get into, which I think they did something very interesting with the song and in trailer. And then also, I'm seeing a lot of folks who feel like it's not really Star Wars, and so I think where they're doing a disservice, as they always do, is I think they've sort of hidden away how this ties into the broader story they're telling in the Mandoverse because they don't want to give that away, right? So I think when you abstract that from what they've shown us, it paints one picture, and I think when they fill that in, you may still not like it, but I think they'll make a connection there that fits in. But I'm not sure the point of this series is to make some huge advancement in the Mandoverse. I don't think that's why this series exists.
They pretty much put that to rest on the article today on StarWars.com. You know, this is, and again, this is something that they say most every time. This is a standalone show. You don't have to do your homework. You're going to enjoy this as a singular entity show. But I'm with you. It is part of the same timeline, the same era as Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Curiously enough, they didn't mention Ahsoka in the article.
One article threw it in as a side note, but yeah, it's not a focus. And again, I think the planet, I think their home planet will end up being probably the most important part of the story tie-in to the broader universe. And again, whether you end up finding that interesting or not, okay, it to me, I think this is just going to be a romp through space, right?
Yeah.
With kids and a robot that's providing comic relief.
Probably going to be good.
And Jude Law doing Jude Law things in space.
Right.
So,
okay. So I like it. What your comments are making me think. I can come up with some positives right away. There's also some negatives right away. So let's do that. But hello to the SSW network. Good to see you. I expect this show to be aimed at Gen X and our kids. I definitely agree with that. I think there will be Easter eggs for OTOG fans, but it will check the deep lore at the door. It will be a fun adventure in a Star Wars wrap. You know what? Honestly, there's going to be some disagreement in chat. I think that right there is exactly what Star Wars needs. Just good, fun, don't need the deep lore. Let's just get into the universe and have a fun ride. I honestly think that is what Star Wars needs right now.
It's been a while. I'm with you, and I mentioned it before, but I'm going to restate it again, just because I don't think they've made a deal about it. The people who were directing this and the writers and the folks who were attached, they're probably the most adult and the most experienced group of folks we maybe have ever had participating.
So it's a positive right there. John Watts is a positive out of the gate.
Yeah, Chris Ford's nothing to sneeze at. You got everything all at once. You got the guy who did Twisters. You got Bryce Dallas Howard. You've got a lot of folks who have done this for a while and have done this for a living, and they're not playing at it, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like the last series we had a lot of folks sort of playing at it. You know what I mean? And I think that always makes it suffer.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm not waiting on Nick anymore.
He's probably stuck in traffic on a work call.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So let's do this. And for copyright, guys, I'm going to have to pause it every 10 or 15 seconds. But let's go through this and watch. And then we'll kind of, I've watched it twice. I looked at, a lot of the comments online. I read the article, StarWars.com, and Deadline came out with something, and a couple other places. So let's just look at this ourselves and see what we think. Here we go. Can you hear the synth music?
Yeah. I'm going to echo because you have it on. I want to talk. Keep going.
I think I can kill the echo.
It's when you share your whole desktop. It happens.
How about now?
Hello. It's still there. I think if you share the browser with audio versus sharing your whole desktop, I think it'll make the echo stop.
Okay, so it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay. All right, here we go.
What are you in for? What are you in for?
So these kids are on a planet, and according to StarWars.com, the premise here is that it's kind of a boring place.
Mhm.
Kind of a boring planet they live on, boring existence, and these kids are looking for some adventure.
And also, I think they rewrote the article because I caught something on Twitter earlier that someone caught in one of the articles, and I went back to the article and it doesn't say it anymore. But the StarWars.com says, yes, it's a boring planet. Yes, they get off it, and they realize getting back to it, it's very complicated because nobody knows it exists. And somehow now I can't find that in any of the articles.
Right. Now, there's been a lot of criticism about Major Tom and the music
And the
in
lyrics they translated into Hadith.
yes,
That's
they did.
it is
Okay.
Major Tom.
Now I might could like listen to that in a Star Wars show. Definitely not. But in a trailer, I have to say I'm okay with the music in the trailer not going with the music that's going to be in the show. Now, if we go into episode 1 and they're playing Major Tom, that might take me out of it. But I think that's just marketing, guys. That's all that is. And I don't think there's anything to get upset about when you hear the music in the trailer. That's just, that's
So
just me.
so two things concern me about that. Number one, the real lyrics of this song are fitting for this show, right? This song is what this show is about. Falling, falling, I'm lost, I can't get home, 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 right? All those things, right? And the fact that they took the lyrics and translated them into Huddies,
Yeah.
I have to believe that we're going to hear the song more than just in the trailer.
Well, so look, we can't really say it doesn't feel like Star Wars. The song's in Huttese.
I, but I kept listening to it and I'm like, is that Major Tom? And I finally Shazammed it. And Shazam's like, it's Major Tom. And I was like, okay, I thought it was Major Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at the lyrics, 3, 2, 1, and below us, falling, falling, I gotta get home. I gotta get home.
Right.
The song is all about the series. So I think if you believe that Star Wars music needs to be more like John Williams music, clearly it's a bad choice. Right. But if you're looking for a song that might embody what they're trying to do in this series, it's kind of perfect.
I agree. And so people are, and I get it. When we look at anything Star Wars, the initial test when you first look at it is, does this feel like Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's our immediate go-to, and it might not even be a conscious thing. It could be just I'm not even aware that I'm doing that. If you watch something that doesn't feel like it's part of Star Wars, then you're like, that's going to take you out of it. Okay, well, a lot of us, especially my generation, that were born right after the theatrical release of Star Wars, a lot of us grew up with the Ewoks movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to make some of y'all mad. I love the Ewoks movies.
Mm-hmm.
This show will be better than those Ewoks movies.
And like those Ewok movies, they were designed for television, right? So we also hold these things that we see on Disney Plus as television to a theatrical standard. And that's not our fault, by the way, right? Because they're not giving us theatrical experiences. So what else are we supposed to do? But the people who are making them as television. We're holding them to a theatrical standard. It's much like those Ewok movies, exactly. And so I don't know what else to say, right? The song is from 1984. Everything in this is an homage back to that time period. So again,
yeah,
it's just always the barrier to entry. What your expectations are musically. What we have experienced in Disney Star Wars era is a particular kind of musical choice, which is non-traditional to what we think of as George Lucas Star Wars.
And you're right. I really wish Nick was here for this comment that I'm about to say, because believe me when I say this, I am being reflective here. I'm talking about me, and I'm talking about all of us. Star Wars fandom, more than any other, we tend to be hypercritical. And there's been a lot to be critical about in the last few years, too. I will say that. And I think that's why sometimes it just feels like people are just trying to be hypercritical. So when you watch a trailer like this, it's like, ugh, the music. But, you know, I agree with what Sundowners was saying. Look, it's an 80s nostalgic twist. It has that tie in with Amblin Entertainment, E.T., Goonies. That's what they're going for. Hell, even Predator was like what, 1988 ish in there.
So on this point, Coach, everything that we're saying in the chat is saying that this is reminding us of is exactly what they were going for. So putting aside for the second whether you believe they should have been going for this, isn't it kind of on point that we're all making? I saw ET, right? They wanted Amblin, right?
Okay.
Everything people are commenting about
Okay.
is what they were trying to evoke with this series.
I love y'all. I love you. Look, they're going to keep us honest here.
Well, and I this, remember, this has been in the can for so long. This comes from the smorgasbord period of Star Wars, right? The whole it's a buffet. There should
that's
be
true.
something
This
for
goes all the way
everyone.
back to like 2017.
Right. So again, it's not like someone said yesterday, let's make, you know what I mean? This has been sitting around. So you have to remember that, number one. And number two, my only point is we're all sort of bitching about it's reminding us of all these things, and they're like, that's what it's supposed to do.
Right. Right.
It's doing exactly what they wanted it to do.
I think like after my extreme disappointment with the Book of Boba Fett, with my extreme disappointment with Mando season 3, I was not disappointed in the Acolyte. I hated it from the get-go. I mean, that's just the truth.
You and I did, I have to say, and I've seen it in the chat a couple times, you and I did get a little bit fooled, or maybe a little bit hopes up, because they gave us a trailer that was pretty good. Remember?
Yes,
I
they
think
did.
And I did a video about the Acolyte, and one of the trailers.
You're going to get people. Look, the chat's getting the pitchforks out.
Like, well, remember, I'm just saying, remember.
I had the trailer reaction on the channel. I'm like, could this Acolyte show be good? The trailer was pretty good.
Yeah, and the show sucked.
Right? Yeah, the show. Well, look, okay. I was very disappointed with Ahsoka, but I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. I feel like because I've been hit with so much negative for me, there's been so many negative feelings for me in the last few years with everything that we've gotten. It's put me into a state of I just can't get excited about this show. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. This trailer, to me, it's a solid trailer.
Better than the first trailer.
I didn't see anything in it that I'm like, oh no, oh please no, nothing, no head scratchers. Yeah, the music, I was like, okay. But again, that's marketing. We're not going to get no 80s soundtrack in the show, guys. And I guarantee you the next trailer that we get for the show won't have music like that. It'll be a totally different flavor. I guarantee you.
This is it. I predict this is the final trailer. We'll probably get this month leading up. We'll get those 30-second snippets.
Teasers.
Right? Every week they'll give, you know what I mean? But we're not, this is it. It's a month out. It's literally a month out now. We ain't getting another trailer. This is the one.
32 days away.
Yeah.
From this happening. And look, now that's the one thing I'm like, man, I'm just starving for some Star Wars I could just sit back and enjoy. But I am excited that we're actually going to have a show to talk about. And we're going to have a show to watch and come here afterwards and discuss. And I really do hope that it's good. I really do. Like, anyways,
You think it'll be good enough to watch on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve? Because that's when it's gonna be
that's
on.
so tough, man.
So stupid.
But the answer is yes.
I'll watch it.
Like I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like the wife and kids will be asleep at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's finish this thing here.
I found something buried in the woods. Dad.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
I don't remember the last thing I saw that guy in, but he's a good actor.
He is a good actor. And also the person who's playing his wife, the school marm. Oh, I can't think of her name right now. Carrie Condon. Condon? She's also there's a lot of good actors attached to this in various roles.
Right.
What do you think it is?
And by the way, they confirmed
Neil is not Max Rebo that
Autoland.
species.
Mm-hmm.
What species is Max Rebo?
Autoland.
I could not remember that. Okay. Fake fan alert. Sorry guys. I'll go get Max Rebo out of my case back here. But anyways, yeah. He confirmed different kind of character species.
And the funny thing about it is part of the reason why it's not the same species is they got into a whole argument about, is he playing with his feet? Is he playing with his hands? How could we put him in the show? What would he be walking with? So they said, let's just not do it at all.
Right. Here we go.
Don't touch anything.
And so pause it for a second.
That's a cool shot.
So his father appears to be there when they blast off.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no mystery that there was some speculation that the parents just think the kids disappeared and they don't know what happened. Right. I think he knows what happened. It's just a matter of now.
He knows they're lost in space.
And he can't. And because of the situation with their planet, he can't go and get them. Right. There's a reason why they can't go after the kids. And the kids don't realize that until they get off the planet. And that's part of the whole story. Oh, Ted!
Yeah.
Ted is
on fire, y'all.
He's dead set against this.
Yeah. All right. Let's. We're almost done here.
What did you do? We're lost. Really lost. Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up.
For the copyright.
Whoa! Where'd you two find an old Republic credit? Help! Over here, quick.
Now I got to say, I do think Jude Law's character is going to be fantastic. That's just, I don't have reason. Like I don't have evidence.
Apparently he wears a helmet. He wears a helmet at some point, Coach. There was a whole comment he made about hairstyle, and I'm wearing a helmet. And don't you? I mean, he is into it. I don't know if you got a chance to look at him, a little bit of his Variety interview. He is a lifelong Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
one of us.
Listen, I've loved him in so many things, and I know some people in the in the chat have as well. But he played the Pope in The Young Pope, the most weirdest, non-traditional Pope you ever did see, but he absolutely nailed that. I mean, I'm a huge Jude Law fan, and so I hope he does really, really well in this role.
Guys, a lot of you are going to be disappointed. The more I sit here and watch it, the more it just looks really solid to me, and the more I kind of look forward to watching this show.
It's made for us, Coach. And this is another thing we can talk about, because there's somebody saying, is it made for kids? Is it made for people like us? I think the answer is all of the above, right? But part of the reason why I'm into it, and maybe this is going to sound very weird and it won't surprise you, maybe it's the song. right? I mean, Major Tom, I mean, that song is iconic
Mhm.
for its time, right? And again, the complaints are it doesn't fit here, peace and love,
Uh-oh.
right? But
Mr. Negativity's on the way, ladies
I
and
know, I
gentlemen.
know.
No,
Hurry up and
look,
finish before he gets here. Hurry up and finish this trailer before he gets here.
the hater is on the way. And if you guys are disappointed in me and Riskman right now, don't worry. Your voice is coming.
Well,
Okay?
no one's surprised at my reaction, Coach. They may be surprised.
No one-
They may be surprised at yours.
Guys, I'm just look, and I get this criticism. I've had it many times. Every time there's a new show come out, Coach is always hyped and excited for it, and they fool him every time. Well, yeah, that's happened a few times. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I went into Book of Boba Fett thinking it was going to be a home run, no doubt about it. It was a win. How could it go wrong? And
Someone in the chat, Coach, just speculated we're easy marks. Maybe it's true.
okay,
maybe it's true.
Nick will
Maybe we're just-
represent. Yep.
Ted. Boy, I didn't watch Ted's video, but I guess I know it was in it now.
Oh,
He
my
did a breakdown
goodness.
video too.
Here we go. Let's finish the trailer here.
Yep.
Get you home, we'll make a partnership.
But we have to move fast.
I need you to take the controls.
So this character, Neil, is supposed to be really funny,
Mhm.
like comedic kind of character. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to this character.
And he's a combination of an animatronic, a
The
puppet.
head is an animatronic. There's a actor in the bodysuit, and then there's the guy that does the voice.
So not only is John Knoll involved in this, but apparently Phil Tippett's company. Phil Tippett is involved in this as well. So again, whether that means anything to you or not, or to the quality of the show, TBD, right? But we also have a couple of legends from an effects perspective who participated in making this product.
Yeah. Incorrect.
I was the one who thought, no, he should be referring to me, right? Because I kept saying, well, with Ewan attached as an executive producer, he would never let it go wrong. That was me.
I had way too many questions about Kenobi and what was going to happen. I had to see what went down.
Look at Nick. Nick. He's coming to
I'm
save
coming
him
to save you
Shield.
guys from Shield Base Network. There's a good chance me and Nick argue tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Hurry up and finish it, and we can go on to a different topic.
Okay. Neil? Neil?
I'm sorry, guys.
If you put on the captioning, you'd see the Hutties.
I'm sorry, guys. I am looking forward to watching these first two episodes. Like, maybe it's because I watched it so early this morning. I was like unsure. But seriously, like the more I sit here and watch it, I'm like, all right.
I was in a meeting and I watched it with the sound off, with just the captioning on, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to watch." And then you text me, you're like, "What did you think?" I was like, "I haven't watched it with the sound on yet." And then as soon as I heard the sound, I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Nick will be here in a second. Look, all right. So, okay. Let me say this. This is where I know something's off for me. If this was not Star Wars, I would think it's even better than what I'm thinking right now.
Mm.
Because it's Star Wars, I'm like down here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If this was anything else, I'd be like, this looks pretty good. Hey, like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of fun.
Well, and they're about to
adventure.
bring out a huge creature wandering around.
I mean,
that gives you that Stranger Things vibe, right? Or the
Never Ending
Predator
Story
thing.
is one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
Never Ending Story was an inspiration.
Yeah, I kind of get a vibe there. This has a Stranger Things type feel to it. That's a really good show.
Flight of the Navigator of all things was mentioned, right? So
Yeah. Nick better get in here.
Hurry up, finish it.
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's wrong.
They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Be warned of booby traps. Pirates.
I like it.
And mountains where none
The pirates better be serious threats.
dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
All right, guys. Start commenting. What do y'all think?
No, there's a lot of folks in the chat, including Bobby, just not feeling it.
I mean, I understand. I respect it. I'd be interested if it was not Star Wars. Okay.
Oh, no, no, no.
Here he comes. He's about to.
No.
Here we go. All right. We just went from PG to R.
Oh, boy.
Man, I'm glad I got here before you guys finished up with this crap.
We told you we were going live at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm saying I'm glad I got here before you guys finished.
Yeah.
You know what's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Super shame on me.
Okay,
man.
so, but what do you mean fool me? Because like this, I'm not saying the show's going to be great. I'm just saying, hey.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't know yet. But the trailer
no, we don't.
I'm okay with what I'm seeing.
It looks so dumb and cringe to me. And the music, I was like, what is this? Yeah. So I am not on board. This looks lame and cringe. It doesn't look like Star Wars. I would rather watch the Ewok movies.
All right, that's where I was going. That's what I wanted to ask you. Because does the Ewok movies feel like Star Wars to you? If you take the nostalgic aspect out, what if you're watching that today for the first time?
No, probably not. Mm-mm. It's just because I grew up with it during that time.
This right here, as a show, I think will be far superior to both of those Ewoks movies if you remove the nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, possibly.
I honestly think it's a safe bet that this show is going to be better than The Acolyte. I think it's pretty safe.
Yeah, hands down. Yeah,
no brainer.
I don't think anything is going to be worse than The Acolyte.
All right,
but
I think it's pretty safe that this show could be better than the Book of Boba Fett. I think it could be better than Mando season 3. And look, that probably will be very hard.
Yeah, it's hard to get worse than those. I mean,
I agree with Donna. To me, it looks fun.
3, Book of Boba Fett. You know, the one saving grace this thing has is it doesn't have any OG characters in it to ruin, like Book of Boba Fett had. Mando season 3 really didn't have anything.
I am very happy with that fact.
Who knows? Maybe Han and Leia will show up and she'll be pregnant with twins.
Not a chance. We'll see a couple of X-Wings because we've already seen
I think we get a live-action Hondo, but OG Star Wars fans that grew up on the original trilogy aren't even going to know who Hondo is.
I don't think they'll bring. They're going to bring Vane in. I don't think we'll get a Hondo here. They're bringing Jaleel White in, right? I mean, I don't.
Isn't that special?
I think they're saving Hondo if we ever do get him in live action. I would be absolutely shocked if this is the time.
That's true. I just went there because of the pirates. It just kind of makes sense. But yeah,
who's Steve Urkel playing in this? Do we know?
He's playing. His name is Gunter. I think he's playing some new pirate. He's a pirate. He was in the trailer. He was in the trailer.
So if he comes in and is like, "Did I do that?" in the show, I'm literally gonna be like, "Oh, shoot me now."
He's not gonna do that, dude. He's not gonna do that.
And we're led to believe in that trailer that those pirates are not aligned with Jude Law's character.
All right,
I'm not very sure that's true.
Question.
Not very sure that's true.
Star Wars fandom Star Wars has been in a very bad place. Don't you guys? I mean, is there anything wrong with the show coming out that we could just have fun and watch and like not everybody be at each other's necks? Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah, that show's called The Penguin. I haven't seen anybody say. I have not seen no YouTubers or anybody saying anything negative about that show.
The Penguin's what Book of Boba Fett should have been, right? I mean, if you think about it,
right? That's actually a good point. I never thought about that. Of course, without all the curse words and stuff, because that definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I told Coach
that'd kind of be out of place for Star Wars.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. That story, the story they're telling in the Penguin.
Like, God, man, they should have got the writers for the Penguin to write freaking Book of Boba Fett, or have them come and do Book of Boba Fett season 2. If those writers came in and they're like, we got free reign, they didn't tell us that we had to adhere to anything or stick to any messaging or anything, man, I'd be like, come on, let's go. But you know, this is Disney Star Wars, and it's just their track record just is not very good. Again, yeah, this show's definitely not going to be worse than some of the other garbage that they've given us. But
Nick, I mentioned this earlier. I was reading the StarWars.com article, and I didn't look. I have been so disinterested. And there's just not been a lot going on Star Wars wise in the past several weeks. I've kind of, you know, we haven't been making a whole lot of videos, you know, and I just haven't been up on everything, like normal. So I'm probably super late to this point. I didn't realize that Jude Law's character is the lead in the show. I thought that the kids were the lead. But according to StarWars.com, Jude Law is the lead. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
No, I thought he was just going to show up at some point in time and probably like maybe the 3rd or 4th episode and then be there probably to the end.
Does that change your outlook on it at all? No.
Because Disney.
It kind of did for me a little bit.
If it wasn't because it's Disney and their track record, you know, I might have a little bit more hope that I might have fun with the show. But
I understand that.
But to be fair, I thought X-Men 97
Don't you be fair now.
I thought X-Men 97 was going to be hot trash.
No. We knew X-Men 97 was going to be awful.
Oh yeah. I was like,
and guess what?
We were there to roast it, and it turned out to be good.
It didn't turn out to be good.
It turned out to be great. It's really
great.
Yeah, it's a really good follow-up.
And we could not have been more wrong.
Yeah. So,
and there's something else we watched that we just knew was going to be awful. What was it? It wasn't something.
It was Transformers 1 for you. I have not seen it.
Dude.
We need to get that on Patreon.
This movie's gonna be awful.
Oh, is it out?
It's out. You can find it in your. You can find it in the places you would normally.
I have a digital copy.
Okay, yeah, I need to get that because I need to get the last episode of Penguin up on Patreon too. So I just got home today, so
look, guys.
That up.
I think we got more people here right now that are thinking, I'm not excited about this show. This show's not going to be any good.
I'm definitely not excited for it. I don't know if it'll be good or not because I haven't seen it yet.
But Nick, I know you well enough to know. And look, you're more of a pessimist than an optimist.
Oh yeah, when it comes to Disney Star Wars, for sure.
Yeah, but you see the negative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of time, I mean, you immediately, like when I ask you on the phone, "Hey, I got a positive and a negative. What do you want first?" You always want to know the negative first. Give me every time you say, "I already know what you're going to say. Give me the negative first." So, God, what was I about to say? I just lost myself in my own train of thought.
Something about me being pessimistic.
So I'm asking the chat, if the show comes out and it's actually a good show, are you going to be able to say that? Like we just did with X-Men 97, like we just did with Transformers 1. Those shows in that movie are great. I'm not ready to say I think this show's going to be great. It might be. I don't know. I think it has a chance to be really good.
I think it has a 2% chance of being great and like maybe a 25% of being good.
And also, I think the comment here from Darth Maul's lower half has a lot to do with it, right? Harmless, inoffensive. We're also conditioned to compare it against the last pile of crap we just watched that was labeled Star Wars, right? And so, which was not harmless, which was offensive.
Wouldn't it be something if a creative said, "Hey guys, let's make something that everybody can enjoy"?
Yeah. The thing that I think this show will suffer from, regardless whether it's bad or good, is the fact that nobody is going to care about it. I don't think it's going to get the viewership to get a second season, even if word of mouth is at least decent on it. Because, I mean, look at the word of mouth of Andor. I call it Andor. I was not a fan. I thought it was boring. It was putting me to sleep. It didn't feel like Star Wars. But I also see its positives. Like, I have no complaints with the dialogue or the writing for the most part with the show. It's far beyond anything else that they've done. But then that soft-hearted nature, like fun element of Star Wars just wasn't there either, which just made it not feel like Star Wars to me. If it would have been called like Escape from Outer Space or something, you know, some other show that had nothing to do with Star Wars, I probably would have liked it more. But nobody showed up for Andor.
Do you know how bad you would hate those Ewoks movies if they came out today?
Oh, I'd probably hate them.
But you would hate them.
But Coach, I think on your point, they didn't make Skeleton Crew to have a season 2, right? That's not the point of the series, right? The point of the series was John Watts and Chris Ford had an idea, again, to pay homage to things they loved as children and put that in the Star Wars universe. They got a bunch of people together who they're pals with, who they know, who also love those things, and got up with Dave Filoni, I know, and Jon Favreau and said, "How can we do this?" And this is what they did. So that's why I think, on your point, it's a plus and a minus, because people may not care about it, but it's not intended to go anywhere. It's just its own thing, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. And look, I hope it's good enough where it would get a season 2. Some type of continuation.
The problem with it is, right, the kids would have aged now, 4 years? I mean, literally, because this has been, so it's going to be really, unless the next story is them in high school, right, or them in junior high, right, unless they actually decide.
It's kind of like Stranger Things. Go back and watch season 1 and now look at those kids now.
Yeah. Unless it's
they're working at the plant now, smoking cigarettes. Like they're just grown adults.
I don't see that in the cards, nor do I think anyone planned for it to be in the cards.
Yeah.
Do you know? So look, your word of mouth thing. This comment right here. The word of mouth for Transformers 1 was tip top, and it only helped it so much.
Yeah,
It
I was
it
getting
was
ready to make the same
it
argument
was
for
not a
Andor.
box office success.
Yeah.
It should have been, man. It really should have been.
Those trailers sucked.
Yeah. And the thing, same with Andor, people were burnt so hard. Yeah, it helped the viewership go up somewhat, but it still wasn't enough. They already had season 2 confirmed when originally it was, what was it going to be, 5 seasons, Matt?
Yeah, it's
Originally,
just not practical, right? Diego
Yeah.
Luna would have been in a wheelchair, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't practical.
Too old to ride a horse, son.
You know it. You know it.
So yeah, word of mouth helped it some, but it wasn't enough. And the thing is with Star Wars, you have to get back to making it for starters good. And second, you got to get back to making it an event. All these Disney Plus shows isn't making it an event. You know, something big, you know, where it's at the theater and people are like lining up to get their tickets. I miss those days, those old days of
Amen.
lining up and standing in line for, 10 hours, to get into the first showing. I mean, I like not having to stand in line now too, also, and being able to go right in and buy my ticket early. But you know what I mean? It was always an event. And now it's just like, okay, it's on Disney Plus. It's a show. Okay, there's some kids, like, yippee, like, yay,
Yeah.
I guess.
And
So-
again,
I don't know what they expect,
remember, this is a product of years ago. So
Yeah.
their options were don't show it at
They've
all.
been working on this show for 7 years.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculous is that?
Well, I think if the writer's strike hadn't happened and COVID, and I mean there was a chain of events that happened, right? That
Yeah.
probably caused them to hold this just because of content drought. But
Mhm.
but would they have decided, given where we're at right now with the Acolyte and the rest of it, would they have decided to make this show today?
I don't think so.
Probably not. But it's already out there, so might as well release it. I don't think anyone's going to sign up for Disney Plus as a result of this. Matter of fact, Donna said in a chat, she said, "Are we going to put it on Patreon?" She's like, "I'm not signing back up to watch this."
So what I honestly
It will be on
think,
Patreon.
all right. Again, my opinion here is just my opinion. I think it's very unlikely the majority here agree with me, but this is my opinion. I think what we're going to have happen is that this is actually what I hope. I hope we get a show that we could all just sit back, relax, and enjoy watching, like everybody. And it's not going to bring a bunch of people in. It's not going to create a bunch of new fans. My students at school are not going to be talking about the episode the next day. They're not going to. But I hope that just creates some, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Peace isn't the right word. Harmony, cooler heads. I don't know. And that Star Wars, Lucasfilm, is turning the corner and they're making content that's good stories and it's good for all the fans and keep all the other stuff out of it that we talk about all the time. There's a whole lot of things there that have to happen for all those things to fall into place. That's what I would like to see happen. I'm not sitting here thinking this show's going to be great. Star Wars is back. That's not what I'm saying.
I totally agree. I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun watching a Star Wars property again, right?
Look at this comment here, and Nick, get your thoughts. You guys are great, but this conversation is just sad. Just hoping and praying that Disney will just give you anything Star Wars and wishing you like something that even looks terrible. My initial comment is this. Nick just talked about missing standing in line for 10 hours. Those moments, those spectacles, those special moments.
Yeah.
I just want to love it again.
Yeah, I am still in the camp of I hope this thing is a complete train wreck and it flops and bombs hard, and I want it to burn to the ground because I don't trust it being under Disney. I still think that if Disney sold Lucasfilm, if Elon Musk bought Lucasfilm and said, I'm getting people that actually love Star Wars in there and don't have no kind of agenda messaging push, I think Star Wars would blow up and people would come back. I don't see it happening under Disney. And for me, I want to get back to that time, and I just don't see it happening under Disney. And I want it to burn to the ground.
Well, a lot of people have left forever,
and
I agree with that part. A lot of people have left, and they hit the exit. And as long as Disney's making Star Wars, they're not coming back because they don't trust them. So there's way too much evidence to disagree with that. Risman?
I mean, their track record is terrible, right? So all we can do, I think, is evaluate this on its merits once it comes out, right? And then we know what's coming is very little. We know Andor 2 is coming next year. We know they're going to make.
I will say this about Andor 2. I actually think that has some kind of potential, which I had a lot of faith and potential that I was given the first season of Andor, and then I saw it and I was like, I know people are really liking it, but it's just not for me. But season 2, I think there's a chance I like season 2.
I think Andor 2 will have a broader appeal than Andor 1. I totally agree. And then we know they're making Ahsoka 2 because it's Dave's baby. And right now, they're not making nothing else. And I don't think they're going to come for all the reasons, Nick, you just talked about, it no longer being eventized and it being diluted and all that. I personally think still they're going to merge the live action content that used to be on Disney Plus. They're going to send it over to Hulu. It's going to be less. There's no money in it for them. They're just going to stop it. And they're going to move primarily back to theatrical releases, assuming Mando and Grogu doesn't bomb hard.
Yeah. And speaking of right here, Planet X, like I said, if you're really that star for Star Wars content, go read some of the books. There are a ton of them out there. Some of them are great. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But mine and Coach's starvation feel of Star Wars is going out and looking at the old toys, and we got a video coming out that where me and Coach went on a Star Wars. Well, it's not just Star Wars. It's basically an 80s nostalgia toy hunt.
It's heaven on
toy
earth.
Chasing.
It's heaven on earth.
Yeah, which would be what Melvor and the Game Chasers and Toy Chasers would say. Yeah, toy chasing. Yes. We were out toy chasing. So
had a lot of fun. Guys, let's go through these member chats and super chats real quick. Donna, are you going to review on Patreon? I refuse to buy anything Disney Plus, not one dime. Hell, EB and Family. The trailer looks kind of fun. Yes,
it will be on Patreon.
We are going to be reviewing.
Yeah, we will be reviewing it. We'll be going live.
We're going live right afterwards. Yeah, we're doing it again. Yep. It's Star Wars season, and we're back in it.
Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
We're doing it. We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live, guys. Doing it live. We'll always cover this stuff, because that's our bread and butter, even though Star Wars is dead for the most part, and so many people have left it. We're still going to cover it.
Do you not think I knew that people were going to be like, what the hell's wrong with Coach tonight? Like, I knew that. But I'm still saying what I think. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say what I really think, guys. It's going to be, you may disagree, and I get that.
I thought the Mando and Grogu movie trailer looked better than this show's trailer. We actually got some snowtroopers in there and some AT-ATs or AT-ATs, whatever you want to call them.
We need to move away from everything that draws us back to those old shows.
Yeah.
because that's where it goes wrong for us so many times.
Yep.
Get away from them. Like the only snowtroopers we need to see is in Empire. Like,
they look pretty good. They look pretty good.
They look great.
Yeah.
They look great. But man, just
I mean, not to be a downer on what Nick just said, right? But remember, those are Imperial Remnant troopers, right? I mean, it's all, where it's all going. So you just have to accept.
Yes, exactly. That. It's all going to episode 7. I'm sorry, 8. Yeah. That ruined it all for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, Greg E. Disney is the swamp. They need to be broke up.
100% agree.
Yep. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it, brother. The Seaman Skeleton Crew will be like Ewok Adventures and Caravan of Courage. Won't be insulting, but won't be great. Likely forgettable.
I can see that being likely. Yeah.
And that's several major steps up compared to the last things that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to forget.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, some of the stuff that we've gotten last has got me wanting to watch the Book of Boba Fett again.
I went back and rewatched Kenobi. I sure did. I had to watch something else.
See, that's the thing, man. I was talking earlier about the eye test, and it's the rewatchability test. When the credits first start rolling, if your first thought was, I'm watching that again, or I'm watching that tomorrow again, you've got something. That's the kind of Star Wars show I want to see again. And to be honest, there weren't a whole lot of Mandalorian episodes where I'm like, I'm watching that one again tomorrow.
No, with the first 2 seasons, no, I definitely had some complaints with the first 2 seasons, but overall, from start to finish,
it's the best we've had.
It's the best we've gotten since Disney. Yeah, as far as the Disney Plus shows go.
And I mean, look, first 2 seasons of Mando, I'm giving as a solid A. I am.
Yeah.
It's not without flaws, like you said, but we also got some greatness.
Yeah.
And not only did we get something that, I'm going to watch that again tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that's got me sobbing like a little kid. Oh my gosh, that broke the internet. Oh my gosh, Star Wars is back. Oh my gosh, grown men crying. You can't do that with anything.
Because they also did a good job with Moff Gideon, right, in the first 2 seasons, and setting up an antagonist and making it feel like there were some stakes, even though I don't think we thought for a second that Mando or Grogu were going to perish, right? But at least it felt, you know what I mean? It felt like there was something to it. And then, of course, it totally went off the rails in Mando 3 and the cloning and all of that was made it very, the payoff was nothing, right?
And to your point, Risman, that last episode of season 2, like you said, we know nothing's going to happen to Mando and Grogu. It wasn't like none of us were sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, is he about to die?" But when he was fighting that Dark Trooper, man, he was struggling, fighting that thing. So the struggle was real, and it just wasn't like he was just like just with ease, just taking everybody out like Luke came in and did. So we saw some struggle with Mando, which was good.
And then in Mando 3, it became comicized, right? With Grogu jumping over the Praetorian guards' heads and those commando troopers flying into the wall. It became all of a sudden Keystone Cop-ish.
Yeah, flipped to Lizzo, and she's like kissing the.
Oh my gosh! And then it's not even about Mando
using Grogu to cheat at the game. Do you remember? She was playing the game using Grogu to make the ball go. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, God, it was so bad, bad.
Well, thank you, C-Man, for sending in that member chat. Debbie Young, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Debbie. I think that we get upset over Star Wars because it hits us in the heart. It's so gut-wrenching to see something you love get treated like crap.
Yeah, and we've talked about this in the past. You know, if this was any other just Joe Blow show, we'd be like, eh. When we probably would have stopped watching it, 3 or 4 episodes in, if we even made it that far, and we probably wouldn't even talk about it. We'd just be like, yeah. But no, it's Star Wars. It's upper echelon of IPs. This is one of, if not the greatest IP to ever exist in film history.
People are like, look, I love that when people are like, why are you still talking about it? Why are you making videos? Why are you, bro? We've been talking about Star Wars our whole lives.
Yeah, since we were kids.
For a long time.
You think I'm just going to stop now?
Yeah,
40 years, please.
Yeah, even the hardcore haters, which I'm considered to be one of, but they are still doing content and they're still talking about it. People are still talking about it. Even when it gets to that time of the season of a new show coming out or something, you always got somebody on the G&G crew or Nerdrotic who they have given up on it, but they still will talk about it and cover it, as well as a ton of other channels. Of course, Star Wars Theory. I think Theory will probably, if I had to guess, will probably praise this. But now Theory's clip he released for Vader Episode 2, I thought that looked better than this entire trailer. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I did.
But it looked really, really good. It was basically like what was it, Matt? Like 30 seconds?
30 seconds ish. Yep.
30, 40 seconds of the Vader Episode 2. Yeah, it looked awesome. It looked really good.
Good deal. Debbie, thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat. My girl, we love you. Ryan Matheson, $1.99. Time Bandits in reverse. Bro, I could not watch Time Bandits. I tried.
And they canceled it. They canceled it already.
Yeah, because it was awful. It was just, look, I only watched half of the first episode, and I was like, I cannot continue watching this show.
Yeah, I knew my mother tried to watch it. She couldn't watch it either. I'm like, well, I'm not going to fool with it.
And I really love the original Time Bandits.
Can you imagine if they got somebody that really loved that original movie to write a script for it and got like Warwick Davis and a whole bunch of other, little people to basically come in and
John Graber.
John Graber. to actually be, the characters in that show, it would have done way better. But, of course, they got away from that. I guess a lot of people could thank Peter Dinklage for some of that. Who knows? But, it is what it is.
So did I tell y'all, I felt so bad, but at Icon, Graber was standing guard at one of the doors, and me and Derek were walking up, and John was working at the convention. I knew he was like checking passes to let people in that room. So I said, "What is this? The room for midgets?"
Oh.
And Graber looks at me and starts laughing, and me and DA are chuckling, and I walk, and Warwick Davis was sitting in that room.
Yeah.
And I was horrified.
Yeah.
Because I was just being funny with John. I never would have said that.
Yeah.
And I know he heard me. And I got smaller than Warwick Davis. And I just kept on walking. And like, Derek.
That's almost worse than where's all the vintage.
Yeah, that was.
I was so to make you feel a little bit better about that, Coach. I was watching one of my Disney channels, one of my Disney parks vlogger channels, and it was an after party type thing. But anyway, somebody was telling a story. She used to work at the Sci-Fi at the prime time diner in Hollywood Studios back when they did the Star Wars days and all that. And she said that Warwick Davis would frequent the restaurant because he just loved the gags and the way that they acted in there. And so one day he asked for directions to something, and without missing a beat, one of the waitresses said, "Follow the yellow brick road." Follow the and he died. He thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever. He loved it. Yeah, so
That's awesome.
loved it. So
I
think he might have a sense of humor.
Oh, he definitely does. You could tell he does. He was eating that guy alive at the convention.
Look, John says he's too tall. He said I'm too tall.
Yeah, I see that. Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Ryan Matheson. We appreciate that $1.99 super chat. Melvor, our friend, my favorite game chaser, $5 super chat. Ewok movies for the win.
I liked them. J-Man actually did a video on the Ewok movies, a versus video. Which one's better? Caravan of Courage or Battle for Endor?
Caravan of Courage.
I like certain aspects of each of those movies more than the other one. So that's hard for me to pick one. But because I liked the end battle, when the Ewoks are getting everything set up and all those dudes are running through the forest, and then they got laser like medieval type laser blasters, and that whole battle breaks up. Then they get the ship powered on, and then the big guns come out. Like, I love that whole end of Battle for Endor, but I like the adventure part of Caravan of Courage more.
Dude, the creature in Caravan of Courage was scary as hell.
True that.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But look, what takes me out of Battle for Endor? Diabetes.
Wilfred Brimley.
I liked him. I liked
diabetes.
Him. You kids, get out of there. Yeah, he's the old, get off my grass, you pesky kids, and then he ends up, being nice to him and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I liked them, for their time at that time. They were better than the holiday special. They didn't get trashed on like wow. That did.
Yep.
And I don't think George hates those movies either. I don't really know how he feels about those movies today.
They're still permitted, right? They're on Disney Plus. So
yeah.
Nick, how old are you?
45.
Risman?
49.
Do you know how old Wilford Brimley was when he shot Battle for Endor?
I would guess in his 60s.
I'm gonna say mid 50s.
50.
50. Wow.
Wow. God, he looks. Yeah, me and Coach were talking about this.
We're almost his age.
I'm going to say, I'm going to be there in a minute. Be there in 2 minutes from now. No, not literally.
Yeah. People are looking older than back in the day.
Is that for real, though? Is that just our perception because it's us?
I look at pictures of him. I don't look anything like him.
Like you look younger than your dad was when your dad was 49. I look a heck of a lot younger than my dad when he was my age.
Yeah.
But my students at school look at me like I'm an old man.
Well, compared to them, you are an old man.
Mark's 47 got it.
Gorax.
That's
Gorax.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I need a 12-inch action figure of that thing. I need a HasLab Gorax.
Man, I'm still mad I missed out on the freaking Cobra Rattler.
Rodline, $1.99 for an 8-year-old. It's perfectly on target, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this show being geared towards the new generation.
The problem is nobody in this generation of that age cares about Star Wars. They don't care. They don't.
They didn't care anything about Stranger Things either until they started watching it.
And that was a brand new
show on Netflix, and Netflix puts out, it has way more subscribers than Disney Plus and way more people watching it.
Right.
And I'm still not convinced they made this show expecting 8-year-olds to watch it. You know what I mean? I just don't. The more I read the articles today, the less I think that was the point.
Right. All right. Thank you, Rod Line. Appreciate that, brother. And I agree with you. Crispy Mofo 1776. God love you, coach, because you still have hope. I don't know if I call it hope. Do I have hope? I just want to love it. It's just,
well, you have hope that
you have hope
that you have hope that
I guess I do.
Yeah,
I guess
you have
I do.
hope that they'll put something out there that you might still love.
By God, if I'm going to spend this much time in my life talking about it, I want it to be good. You know, I don't, and I will just listen to and watch my Star Wars, and the rest of it can burn to the ground. Totally understand, bro. So that's something that was really nice for us going to the convention, and then me and Nick going to this convention a couple weeks ago. We still have that love for the toys.
Yeah.
And so does everybody else there. So you're surrounded by people just like you. And it's great. And it brings all the love back. Like I came home and started watching the original trilogy. Like, put me in that time machine right back. It was great. Thank you so much, Crispy Mofo. Appreciate that, man. Blood Guilty Gaming, hashtag we are, you are. Coach and Nick are both legends in my book. Respect. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. You are the man. Ted's Nerd World, 99-cent super sticker. We already know what it is, Ted. Thank you, man. I know that's what you think about my opinion tonight.
Poop emoji. I didn't have to. I didn't have to look this time. Poop
I
emoji.
see it. But the poop emoji is smiling and laughing at least. Thank you, sir. Venger. We have Dune Prophecy to look forward to in 2 weeks.
We
can't
do
wait.
Indeed.
Can't wait. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome.
And I think we have Silo season 2 in a couple of weeks too.
Do we really?
I sent you the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes is posted. I sent it to you.
I need to go watch the
Middle
last
of November,
episode again.
Pretty sure.
Well, there'll be a recap, I'm sure. I just don't remember how it ended. Oh, hold up. She left.
And that's how it starts. She
outside.
Left
the silo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're giving it away. No, she's
excellent.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yep. Thank you, Venger. Appreciate that, bro. Planet X with a $5 super chat. Sorry if I came off as too harsh. You didn't, bro. No, we love that comment. Hey, if we highlight your comment and talk about it, that's awesome. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm disillusioned myself in how they've massacred my boy. I'm sadly just not keeping my hopes up for anything soon. Here's the thing, man. I have a lot of moments where I feel just like that. I do. And Nick does too.
Yeah.
You know, in the middle of the Acolyte, I was definitely feeling like that. So yep, totally with you, man. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat and all the awesome comments tonight. We appreciate it, bro. Lou Capadonna, member chat, Doomcock rumors say Disney is begging Favreau to take over the movies. I say unless they fix Jake Skywalker, I don't think I will ever feel the same way about Star Wars. Luke Skywalker is Star Wars, is the heart of Star Wars. I agree, and I think there's no chance of that ever happening. Like we don't even have conversations anymore about a sequel trilogy retcon. That's just I'm so far removed from that. You said 2% chance earlier, Nick. I think there's a 0%. Well, I guess there's always a chance. There's a 1% chance that the sequels would be retconned. I just don't see it happening. Get away from everything that they've done. Go so far into the future, or go to another galaxy, or go so far into the future in another galaxy and tell us a Star Wars story.
They went way into another galaxy in Ahsoka. It sucked. They went way into the past with the Acolyte. It sucked. Their problem is not going, in my opinion, going far into the future or past into another galaxy. It's the writing. It is the writing of this stuff. If you could put stuff in the time of episode 1 to episode 6, and there's good stories you could tell during those time frames.
Yeah.
It's just about getting somebody to write a good story.
I think you should only do stories in pre-existing George Lucas Skywalker saga timeline. You should only make animated movies or shows. Don't give me a live action show in that universe, because they've not pulled it off every time that they've tried it, with the exception of Luke's return and Mando's at the end. That's the only time.
And Rogue One was pretty decent.
Rogue One was great.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. It was absolutely fantastic. That's right. But more times than not, Book of Boba Fett didn't go well. Ahsoka, not that I had a problem with Ahsoka, it was the story, but the whole world between worlds, the scene with Anakin, it just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing is, all that stuff could have worked if they had competent people writing their shows for them. And that's basically my big point.
I just say, look, get us away from that era and get us away from those characters.
Yeah.
Well, and I think if Favreau continues, and I do expect that he will, we will continue to get Mandoverse era content. And so you sort of have to be all right with whatever story they continue to weave there for as long as they do it, because I think that's where he likes to play.
Yeah.
So that's part of what comes with his continued involvement. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's the time frame we'd be stuck in.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Lou, for sending that in. Dan Grissom.
I started this one because I had noticed earlier Greg Hildebrandt. You know Greg Hildebrandt? He did the key art for the original Star Wars, the UK poster, the very famous blue poster with
the birthday cake?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, the one that you always think of, the old-timey poster. He passed today. 85 years young.
Wow.
How about that? Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that either. Yep. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that, man. And Lou Capadonna, $2. Star Wars has to pull a Marvel and fire all the activists.
I mean, the Marvel problem we have, well, I don't disagree, but the problem we have with Marvel, and I've watched a few streams today where they were mentioning it, and I had to chuckle. You know, Feige saying we're going to slow down and all that. Well, they've had all this crap piled up that now they're going to be putting out, and it's all the same old crap. Ain't none of it good.
Yeah,
right? It's the same. It's already written. It's all the old problems. It's old stuff, and like they did a teaser, and nobody wants any of that stuff. Ironheart and all the rest of it. So
no,
by the time we get to where the new content is coming without these activists, it's going to be 2027, 2028.
Exactly.
It's a long time from now.
Yeah. And I kind of feel that's where they're at with Star Wars. It's like, you know, you just, at this point, you know, and this is if Disney was like, okay, nothing we're doing is working. For the most part, it's not. We just need to halt everything, take 2 years, and actually get people in here, which is never going to happen, but get people in here that are competent, get rid of the story group, and, you know, actually put a plan together of actual good Star Wars content. But again, it's never going to happen. That's why I'm in the camp of let it all burn to the ground and have Disney sell it. Get somebody else to run Lucasfilm and Star Wars, because they failed.
I'm with you on that. Well, that catches us up on everything. We've not played one of these in a while. Guys, thank you so much for all the member chats and super chats. We appreciate that. Here, let's give you something. This has some 1980s adventure feels. I had no idea. Talking to Risman the other night, I was like, "Tell me something to watch. I need something." And he was like, "You never watched Three Body Problem. You need to go watch that right now." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." So I hung up the phone with Risman, and I did not start watching Three Body Problem.
I knew you didn't.
I instead, as I was going to Three Body Problem, I saw a squirrel, and I chased the squirrel. And I'm so glad that I did, because I've already finished it. I watched the six-part documentary, Mr. McMahon, on Netflix.
I haven't watched that yet.
And it was so good. Now, look, he's a jacked up dude. Okay. He's done a lot of bad things, but the documentary was fascinating. And if you ever liked professional wrestling or sports entertainment, if you ever liked that, you have got to watch that documentary.
I'm going to be watching it.
Great.
I'm going to be watching it.
You'll love it. You will absolutely love it.
And it's called Mr. McMahon, right?
Mr. McMahon on Netflix. Yep.
And speaking of documentaries, just a reminder, the John Williams documentary is available now. It dropped itself.
I need to get that up on Patreon too.
Yeah. And again, I haven't watched it, but everyone
has to be really good.
Everyone who's watching it so far that I've talked to has said it's a tearjerker and it's award winning, the way they put it together and the content and just everything about it. So I guess bring the tissues. But it is, and it's long. It's like an hour and 45 minutes, I think. But it's available now for watching.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, you guys got anything else as we're getting ready to shut her down?
I think so.
What all did you guys cover?
Just Skeleton Crew.
Oh, just Skeleton Crew. Okay. There was some others. I thought there was some other stuff going on in the news.
I mean, I have no idea.
Ridley Scott's making another Alien movie. How about that?
He's doing that.
Yeah.
The Godzilla -1 guys doing another Godzilla film. That was
Toho.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
I can't get enough. Yeah, Days of Thunder.
Oh, did you guys talk about attacking the child actors?
No.
Okay.
No. Look. So that we've been seeing that posted on social media, like people are preemptively saying protect the child actors. First, I agree. I don't think the kids should be personally attacked. Two, I don't think anybody's doing that.
No.
I think the whole personal attack stuff is far less than what
people try to claim it is.
They just create things. Some people, like Jake Lloyd, was diagnosed with schizophrenia. But people just say, "Oh, he's like that today because of, the fans." What?
No, it's because of the kids at his school.
That's your opinion with no evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with Ahmad Best. He blamed the media, not the fans.
Yeah.
Did Moses Ingram say something about the fandom? Did Kelly Marie Tran say something about the fandom? Yes. But can you give us one piece of evidence? And I don't support people going after them because of the color of their skin or anything else. So my point is, I don't think these child actors are in any danger of being attacked by the fandom. I really don't. No. And they don't need to be, whether the show's good or not. Attack the directors. If you want to be critical about their acting, I think that's fair.
Or the characters themselves in the show.
Exactly. That's what we normally get. Yeah. I hate that character. You know what I'm saying?
And then they'll be like, they're attacking the actor. No.
And what happens so many times, I feel, is that the actor is devastated because of what happens to their career or what potentially happens to their career because they took a bad job.
Or they take it personally.
Right.
Because people hate the character.
Then you're like, I hate the fans because the fans ruined my career. Well, no.
Took a bad job.
That job ruined your career.
Yeah.
that's kind of like we talked about with all these acolyte actors and actresses and all that, right? You know, they thought they had a golden ticket. Oh, I'm in Star Wars now, right? The show sucked.
Yeah, but the two guys that I thought were good in that was that Manny,
Gento, he was good.
Manny Gento, who played Smilo Ren, and then of course the guy from Squid Game.
He wasn't good. He was good in the first 2 episodes, and it was awful for him.
Oh no, I'm talking about his performance. His character, was decent enough to watch in the first couple episodes, and his character went to crap after that.
Yeah, exactly.
But his performance, I thought just their acting performance was far superior than anybody else's in the show from those two.
Well, and remember the kids, and also the kids in this show are actually actors, right? Whereas the kids in the Acolyte weren't actors, right? So I mean, there's just a whole different level of professionalism that went into this series. Again, the story could still suck, right? It could still look cheap as shit, right? The music could be, but I'm just saying the professional part of it, the people who were involved and all the rest of it in this series is totally different than the approach they took with the Acolyte. But again, this series was cast and put together and all that back in the height of the Mandalorian days. So they would have approached it very differently. It's only been within the last 2 years ish, the last little while, that it seems to have gone off the rails with, we don't care if you have any experience at all, just come and do it.
Yeah.
My dog's trying to bite me.
So your dogs have been very active today.
Yeah. Well, what else you got?
What else did I read about? I read about Deadpool and Wolverine comes to Disney Plus on the 12th. So that'll be another one coming. They announced.
Wow. Is this going to be the first R-rated film on Disney Plus?
I think they've brought on, like, they've brought from other places some R-rated stuff now that they've curated in their, like, Alien or Aliens, I think, has been floating around. One of those is R, isn't it? Logan's out there.
And the first Deadpool.
So yeah, that's a good one. What else did I see? Oh, Jack Ryan's getting a movie. Krasinski's coming back as Jack Ryan in a movie. I don't know if it'll be on.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it'll be on Amazon or if it'll be theatrical.
I really like that show.
Yeah.
You watched that show, didn't you, Coach?
I love that show.
What
Ryan?
show?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
I can't remember.
It would have been on Prime. You would have watched it on Prime.
Yeah.
Who played Jack Ryan?
Krasinski, John Krasinski.
Yes, I watched it.
Yeah, he's got a movie coming.
Yeah,
that's good.
There's actually several R-rated movies on Disney.
Yeah, they've been quietly, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the Hulu business or what, but they've been quietly augmenting their catalog of movies, to me, somewhat quietly. Maybe it's because they started doing those channels. Those channels are live now that just are, randomly showing different things in certain genres. So maybe there's something to do with it. But yeah, I've seen quite a few new movies popping up, or old movies newly added to their library, I should say.
Yeah. Well, guys, chat, thank you all for being here. We didn't get to stream last night, so we wanted to catch up with you tonight. So thank you.
Oh, yes, Game of Thrones movie. Yes, there's a Game of Thrones movie coming. Okay. Also recently announced.
Yep. And look, we're hoping all those things are good. So anyways, that's going to do it for us, everybody. Nick and I will be back soon. We will
I had one quick question for Rissman.
Mm-hmm.
And Debbie's got a question for you in a super chat before we go.
Okay.
Thoughts on without spoiling anything, did you like the ending of Penguin this last Sunday?
I'm into it, right? And I knew what was going to happen, and they ended it just in the right place.
Man, I was like, this is the time I wish it's times like this with the way that last episode
Binge
ended.
it.
Where
Give
I'm
me
like,
all the
I wish
episodes.
all the episodes would drop because I have to wait a whole week to find
Yeah.
out what happens.
That is such a well thought out, well written. Again, HBO/Max continues to sort of show a masterclass of, and Apple TV Plus also, of how it can go if you actually have a well written, planned out, series.
So you're telling me I need to go in here and watch the first episode of Penguin?
But you can't watch it if your kids are gone. Watch it.
Yeah,
You can
watch it. Yeah, watch the.
I've got time right now to watch like the first 3. They're
Oh,
like
you're going to be
long.
hooked. You're going to
Yeah.
be hooked.
You'll be hooked after the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Debbie has a question, and we just got
I'm
to
a
give her
Tom
membership.
Bandits fan.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm getting Mr. McMahon right now, so I'm going to start it tonight.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Here's the question, Nick. Irish whiskey. Have you tried any of the Irish whiskey?
So the triple distilled one I did, but the distillery one is still sealed in the box. I'm actually saving that for the Christmas holidays. But the other one I did, and it was excellent. So thank you for that, Debbie. I quite enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to crack open the other bottle. But I'm saving that for holiday season.
Awesome. And Ryan Matheson, thank you
He's my
for the
tiger.
gifted Echo Base Network membership. And I think I saw Alex Talon. Alex Talon happened to grab that membership. So welcome, Alex.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ryan, for the gift.
Yep. Everybody, Ruby is growing up.
Look
She's
at how
getting-
big she's getting.
Yep. She's always going to be small. This is about as big as she's going to get. But oh, you sleepy baby.
Yeah, the big yawn. I feel
All
that.
right.
I feel that.
Yep.
Felt that
She's
yawn
our
in my
girl.
bones.
This is our EBN puppy.
Huh.
Get him. Okay. Get out of here, kid. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. We're wrapping up. Thank you for being here. Nick and I'll be back with some videos, hopefully this weekend, definitely next week.
No.
Thank you, Rissman, for co-hosting and Nick finally
pleasure.
showing up.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for being here and accepting our opinions, whether you agree with them or not, as we do yours as well. We will experience this skeleton crew together. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I like it and it's terrible, Nick will tell me. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. See y'all.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. I believe that's me with the Alien game, so I'll be playing it soon.
I started an Alien game though too, and I have not picked it back up yet. I'm so busy with work stuff though right now. Probably after mid-November, I might pick that back up.
I just don't have time. I'm binge watching Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Oh, if y'all could have seen Rissman laughing.
That's a lie. That's a lie, lie, lie.
Where community happens. John Graber is a midget.